Hey all and welcome back to Sonic Chronicles, the Dark Brotherhood. What a fucking metal name for a chapter. Like, I just think of... Oh god, my brain is collapsing in on itself.
Ow.
Enjoy that for the rest of this opening cutscene, but I just think of Black Hole Sun, won't you take me away, or however that fucking song goes that Hell Dragon's always singing.
Yeah, you completely butchered that, but yeah, that is probably what they're going for, a bit of intersexuality there. But this particular bit of audio direction is fucking incredible. That's the only real word I have for it.
I gotta say, like, just in terms of story, it's cool. Like, the heroes lost. Like, they beat the guy, but he still had the grand master plan. Where was Eggman on that? He's supposed to be the one with the master plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's tucked away in our bag, I think, at this point, because he's not in the party.
Oh no, I guess that's what they're referring to with the black holes and the sun and the such. So yeah, he's taking it back to the Twilight Cage, which is where everything's from. If you noticed last time, Shade wasn't on board with essentially what Ix's plan was. I feel like he was using the Nocturnus clan for his own ends, so to speak.
Well, I mean, that's clearly quite clear, because, I mean, you take one look at Ix, and you're just like, well, he's clearly evil. You take a look at, like, Shade and stuff, and even though, obviously, she's wearing black and all of that jazz, now that she has demasked, she looks like a perfectly normal echidna.
Yeah.
And it's all just like, so, normal echidna... crazy white dude. I think we can tell sort of where we're going with
A, that's
this.
Profiling, and B, you know, this is like character design, meta-analysis. But yeah, it's very clear, like, the Nocturnus clan we use as porn. Shade even spelled it out for the children playing the game, so I guess, like, we have a common enemy now. We need to take revenge against Ix for Shade and her dignity, and so on, and Shade is a 4,000-year-old dragon. Oh my god, Rouge, what the fuck?
Yes. That's an interesting bit of Knuckles lore, isn't it?
Yeah, also I love how just everybody else just completely ignored that statement. And just like, I mean, even Knuckles, who surely would have gone, what? I'm sorry, what are you saying? But no.
Moving past that, apparently they can't stay in this world without extra technology, and that's why he had to open up the wormhole. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, basically this is where it baited me into going through the same dialogue tree twice, which it hadn't done up to this point. But yeah, like, they're kind of here as a temporary kind of thing. It's a little bit confusing, but we'll find out more about, you know, what other kind of beings are out there over the next few chapters.
Neat. I will say I like the parallels of, like, Knuckles as the descendant of the tribe who sent Shade's thing, her tribe rather, to this really dank, awful place, you know, the Twilight Cage, which sounds cool and does kind of look cool if the music is shitty as all hell, more of which later.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's like, it's cool that Shade doesn't really harbour any super anger or frustration towards him. Like, they'll probably talk about it at some point, but she's obviously not on board with Ix's plans, as we've seen, and it's a nice change of pace character-wise.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, because one of the things that you do tend to always get in narratives is descendant of one race that's been harmed in some way, really, really hates descendant of race that caused that, despite the fact that descendant of race that caused that had nothing to do with the
Two worlds, one family!
Yeah, and so generally you always have sort of the warring going on and them hating each other, but then sort of later down the line they love each other and they're going to be romantic partners and so on and so forth. That's generally how these stories go.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to have that sort of different take on it, of Shade just wants to be back in the world where they came from. And, wow, Amy was getting a bit brutal there, calling her a witch. Like, wow,
I don't want to
Jesus.
work with Shade. She's an echidna, and I hate echidnas. Sorry you had to find out this way, Knuckles.
But yeah, it's nice that they're going on the Shade being actually not an awful echidna being. And to be honest, I would not have said no to seeing Shade continue as a Sonic friend following this game. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Chronicles. I mean, I've made that much clearer over many, many years. But Shade was always sort of not a major highlight, but at least a partial highlight.
She was
a really
enjoyable,
fun new
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things which is like, it's a shame that this was sort of her introduction to the world. Very much, I suppose, sort of like Styx in Sonic Boom.
I
obviously,
would liken her more to Blaze, honestly.
I mean, yeah,
in
that
terms
is
of
true.
temperament, she's from a different dimension. You know, she has all these special powers and abilities and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that Shade is very much more like Blaze than Styx. I'm just saying in terms of coming from a game that is perhaps not quite well beloved.
Yeah.
Like, for what... I've heard some criticisms, I suppose, of the Rush games over the years, but nothing anywhere near the extent of either Chronicles or Boom. So, it's in the sense of both Styx and Shade are at least halfway decent characters or interesting characters, coming in games where they didn't really have the chance to properly shine, and at least in Shade's instance, completely killing any chance she ever had of coming back as a character later down the line. Whereas Styx sort of seems to be slightly in with a chance of coming back later down the line, but we'll see.
Well, no, I think Boom's well and truly done at this point.
I mean, Boom's dead, but Styx might not be.
If Styx appears again, it will be as a playable character in like a spin-off or something. Otherwise, I don't think they're planning on using her again. But
I mean, it's totally fair.
Flame, what can we expect from this chapter in terms of like challenge and so on? We know the hazard wall is open. We know that I'm going to transition into this accent for no reason and then go back to speaking normally. But what is the difference between these robots and the previous ones? Because they just seem the same.
They're very similar. I believe the main difference is just that they're a bit stockier with a bit more health.
Okay.
I don't remember having any particular challenge with this chapter. Like, the one thing I remember from this chapter is that like fucking clusterfuck of noise that we had in the intro. I don't really remember much else from it, so this could be interesting.
Okay.
Because this is another like very self-contained chapter, like with the previous one. In the fact that we're in now, like we've gone from regular Metropolis to destroyed Metropolis. So it's like once we're out of here, and we don't come back. So there will be another point of no return at the end of this chapter.
Very good, very good. I gotta say, I like stuff like that. When you're in a location and you come back and it's like either ruined or elevated or even like perverted to unnatural means and so on. It's a nice way to get the most out of a single setting, and I guess it makes it easier to decide if we're talking strictly of video games, because you can just take asset A and put it onto asset B and you're done.
Well, with this one, it's interesting because we've gone from ruined Metropolis to even more ruined Metropolis.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, if they were planning a sequel, were they gonna fuck it up even more somehow?
I just love the idea of, like, multiple things piling onto Metropolis over the years until you can't even see the original remains anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think what we can put it down to is first Metropolis that we came to was the city's been destroyed. This version of Metropolis, I feel we can call the city's been absolutely, completely fucking destroyed.
Thank you. I was wondering if we were going to get one of those in there. By the way, never my joke. That was Gareth's. I'm just trying to put it out there right now.
We can tell it wasn't your joke because it was funny, Tom.
You know what? I'm going to let you have that because I left the door open and you walked in like the fucking trobo hamp that you are. I can't even fucking say hobo or tramp anymore. Fuck it, I'm done. I'm not talking for the rest of this part.
Okay, well, that's going to work out really well, given you're the one who's usually good at keeping these not bullshit.
Yeah, because if it were just me and Flame, then we'd just be going, so, how about that Cream the Rabbit with that one chow, making this kind of a lot easier than it perhaps would have been otherwise?
It's funny how commentary dynamics work, because, like, I was sort of, like, this eager early on, but I feel like since I started taking my meds, I've been better at shooting the shit and whatnot, and,
yeah.
I would say if you two work together, that would actually not be a very good combination. Not because you're both bad at it or anything, just because you don't have the right temperaments, as it were. Like, Flame is reserved but analytical, Richie is bubbly and analytical. You kind of need that third person, which is me, you know, the stupid one, or at least, you know, the dense or inquisitive one to balance that out, to get information from Richie, or to ask Flame what's going on, and so on. And that's kind of what you need to be if you're a co-com, or even like a leader of a group, like I am. So if you're like, if you're planning to do commentaries yourself, even if it's not on like Let's Plays the games and so on, you need to think ahead. Just doing it with your friends is fun, and if you're not planning on, like, you know, going in depth and anything, that's absolutely fine. You don't need to think about the dynamics at all. But if you want to make it interesting and compelling, you definitely need at least some sort of variety in terms of who's commentating.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's not to say that Flame and I could not work together, because I believe we did during the last marathon, did we not?
Yeah.
The Sega-thon, because we did Vanquish and at least parts of Rhythm Thief, maybe?
No, that was just Tom and I, because we were getting salty at each other over how bad I was playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is right. But we definitely did Vanquish together, and I think we did quite well at Vanquish, to be fair. But yeah, in general for these sorts of things, it's that whole balance of personality types. Like, I'd say the reason that sort of us three work quite well together is because we do sort of fill the different areas of Flame. You're sort of more of the cynical joker. I'm sort of very much I'm the literature guy.
Yeah.
And Tom, you're very much more the compare of the whole thing, sort of making sure everything's going through in the right direction, asking questions where appropriate, and sort of pulling it through. It's also sort of why going sort of more to like you and THD, it's not fully this is gonna sound it's, oh my god, I'm just losing the words that I want to say, but sort of the crazy one and the straight man type dynamic, because that is always one that works.
The thing is, I've come to notice over the years, like, I can be a good straight man, but I'm naturally sort of stupid anyway, so I can play the fool, and it doesn't come off as disingenuous, you know? So, I think that's why me being the leader of the group and the one who's in all the commentaries, because fuck letting anyone else do the work, I'm there to do all the editing, and such, and manage the commentaries, you know? I still have that control freak streak a little bit, but I balance it out with, like, you know, logic and not giving myself a hard time. That's why I'm able to work with as many people as I do, because I match them, I mirror the people I work with, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know I even had a role. I thought I was just along for the ride, but hey, you guys have both gave me more of a title than I could have actually earned, so yeah.
Wow, Sonic is just like, I love the cunty answers the best. Like, wow, you got paid a compliment? We're not friends, Shane. Don't get any fucking ideas, yo-ho.
Well, you could read that as Sonic just being a bit protective and not wanting to, and not wanting to kind of open up too much trust right away, or it might just be of, he wants more than friends, and this is him setting that up.
Yeah. Although, can I just say, I am really disappointed that you didn't go with the answer of, I consider this to be all your fault, Shade, because that was just, that was beautifully evil.
And not true in the slightest, because it was Ix who was the mastermind behind the whole thing. She was just a soldier.
Yeah, basically.
Plus, I'm leaving the opportunity open to get some Echidna Coochie, so, you know, you've got to be a bit considerate.
Oh, please, Shane, I need this Echidna Coochie.
I've been posting that Phil When No GF on Twitter every day, and you still haven't responded. What's up?
Why is my inbox empty? This makes no sense. Why can't they like a guy like me who complains about not getting laid on social media?
Yeah, exactly. Oh wait, you were joking.
Oh, sorry, Flame. Did the arrow strike gold there? Did it hit its mark?
It's fine. One day someone will be attracted to that.
I guess so, mate. Anyone's desperate enough, as time plus desperation makes fools of us all.
Can confirm.
Alright then, let's finish off getting these things powered up. We can take that lovely spaceship into the black hole to God knows where with no food, no preparations. But hey, we need to find a shiny rock to let our island float in the sky, I suppose.
You know, when you describe it like that, this whole thing sounds a bit silly.
It does, yeah. What's the actual reason, like, we're stopping X again? Because I honestly forgot.
I think you pretty much just summed it up. He's got the Chaos Emerald to my recollection, and other than that, it sort of washed straight over me.
Yeah, I mean, I think in sort of broad strokes, the plan is that, he wants to conquer the world, therefore we must stop him because he's clearly a crazy asshole, and that's basically it.
We were ignoring stories, sucking ourselves off about how great commentators we were, so we don't know what even is going on.
Look, we have the basics down. Man takes stone, go into portal in sky. We must follow him.
Basically, yes, and also...
White kid in a bad.
Yeah, and also this guy is a complete and utter unit, like, my god.
He actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
He sort of reminds me of like the gun mechs from SAT, you know, the ones that you fight with Sonic and Shadow.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't make models of those either, because they were cool. It's a bit self-serious, but that goes with the tone of the story, so it works. You know, I prefer the more fantastical Eggman mechs, is what I'm trying to say. What was it? Oh right, yeah, I had a point. Here it comes. Oh, it's crashing like Angel Island into Metropolis itself. I learned the other day that I think like the concept artist for Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, or at least one of them, also did work on like Doom 4 and so on, you know, the most recent Doom.
Yes, I do remember hearing that.
And you can totally see it in some of the designs for the robots, like Lyric's robots and whatnot, with like rounded edges on the guns and so on, like various indentations on the armour. And it's just really, I don't know, it's cool. And I don't think all the robots in this game are very interesting, but that orange one is really great, so credit where credit is due.
Oh yeah.
That was one of those things where I didn't really have a point, but I slipped a bit of trivia in there to make it seem like I did.
And now you're patting yourself on the back for doing that. Well done, Tom.
Well, after Christmas it's going to be a bit hard to reach round there, so I'm on like a strict go as long as you can without eating diet, which for me is probably a few hours.
Well, then given the other option is let's down a whole pizza and then wonder why I'm not ready to record yesterday.
Had to expose my balls on the TL. What the fuck is this thing? It's cool and I want a figure of it.
Yeah, I wonder who made this robot.
God, look at those fucking gold nipples.
Yeah, I was gonna say it literally has the 06 nipples right there.
Yeah.
Is this like the only instance of, besides Archie, where, you know, Eggman basically died and downloaded himself into an Eggman bot, that there is an actual robotic Eggman?
Well, there's the... I suppose it depends whether you count a fake out as being one or not, because like there was the sort of thing going in the OVA and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What did he call that particular one when it like Dark Robotnik or something stupid like that?
Oh, it was metal. It was just literally Metal Robotnik, I think.
Wow. Creative name there.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose sort of in a slight way you have got heroes. Although that's a different kettle of fish, I suppose.
No, that was just Metal Sonic, man. That's not a robotic Eggman at all.
It's true.
Well, it was still a robot impersonating Eggman.
Oh, Jesus. This robot shot lasers out of his nipples and took out a small child.
Oh. That's like one of the less bizarre things we talked about recently.
How did you miss every single one of those, Shade? Like, one of them is understandable, 2 is a pattern, and 3 is just ridiculous.
Well, even like using that, I swear I got the QTE in, but nope, still missed.
Well, it's deciding to evade now. Oh my god, is that robot in the middle cowering? It is. It doesn't want to be hurt.
Yeah, it's like, please don't hit me too hard.
I was given too much of an ego. I have gained self-preservation.
Oh god, damn it, Eggman.
Random aside, how do we feel about Shade's little wrist blades and whatnot, and how she's able to heal slightly whenever she attacks something flame?
I think she's kind of cool, like her design in that respect. So she does actually get some use out of her weapons. That like a lot of her attacks I seem to recall being blade based. So yeah, it works well for me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool as well. I mean, as I said, I do actually quite like Shade as a character and what they were going for with her. Just it's a shame that she didn't get to live on outside of this game.
Richie misses his waifu, got it.
I've also.
Come off it.
I will say I found the character of Shade to be just bog standard at the time. But then again, I found the writing of the game to be a bit bog standard at the time, besides the jokes. I've come to appreciate the characterization and such since then. But even then, Shade is an interesting character, but she's not, like, exciting or as deep as maybe Sonic or Knuckles is.
Oh god, no, never. I mean, I would say she's not even, like, I'd say Blaze is a more interesting character than Shade, but once again, it's one of those things of potential, like, you could have potentially sort of elevated the character somewhere a bit higher. I mean, sort of a little bit managed it with Silver, because obviously when he was introduced, everyone was just like, oh god, this is the most ridiculous thing ever, and now it's sort of just like, well, he's not the worst thing in the world. So, I mean, it's an improvement.
If I can comment on that, and I forget who said this, I think it may have been Tanner, actually, my co-com for Hat in Time and all the Patreon quick looks. Silver has the distinction of being a decent character who had the unfortunate thing of being introduced in a really bad game. So obviously, by association, he would have had a lot of flack thrown his way, even if he wasn't a bit whiny. So I feel like over the years they've done a lot good with Silver. He's especially good in the Archie comics.
Oh yeah. I say as if I've read the Archie comics, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I think, like, with Silver, you're saying that, but that is just a thing of they also really adjusted how they approach his character as well, because, like, in 06, he's a stupid character, but not explicitly written to be a stupid character. He's just... I feel like they didn't really know what they wanted to do with him, and he ended up accidentally being gullible for convenience, rather than because that's a character trait of him. And it felt more awkward rather than just being a character written a certain way, whereas I guess they didn't really do much with him beyond being the token character from the future going forward, but his less pleasant traits were erased in later entries as well, so I guess, like, by comparison, he's gone to look much better than he was.
Oh yeah.
To kind of balance it out. But yeah, like, he showed up in Rivals as well, but he didn't really do much there.
Well, nobody did much. That game has the story of, like, a piece of string and another piece of string tied together, but whatever. You don't really play Rivals for the story, you play it for the admittedly fun gameplay, honestly.
Yeah, I do legitimately like Rivals. I think part of that is I have a sincere appreciation for it being the epitome of okay.
Yeah.
Like, it ticks them boxes perfectly.
I wouldn't say, like, the jumping quality between Rivals 1 and 2 is as big as, like, Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2 for me. Like, I genuinely enjoy Sonic 4 Episode 2 for what it is. It's not perfect by any means, but the jump between Rivals 1 and 2 is, like, 0.5, whereas between Episode 1 and Episode 2 it's, like, 20 to 30%.
I get you, yeah. Like, I still haven't played Rivals 2, but it's on my games I intend to get to for obvious reasons, that being because it's Sonic.
There you go. Oh, be Saki, please.
Forget what the options were. Oh.
Okay, so Eggman's got to stay on this side of the portal, which has no consequences whatsoever. Don't even think about it. He's only in the heart of, like, his original base with all the bad robots taken out. He will not gain control again. It's fine.
Of course.
Like, you even saw him do, like, the little evil smirk as they were waving him off. Like, come on.
See you. Goodbye. Haha. Go fucking kill yourself, Sonic. Oh my god. Alright, guys. We'll see you on the other side of this portal next time. Bye-bye.